ho nitong si Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano at itong interview nitong si Atty. Sraylito Turrion dyan sa Billionaire News Channel ang ating pag-uusapan dito sa video na to. Pero bago ho yan, isang like at isang subscribe. Masaya na ho tayo dyan sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community, yung join button nandiyan lang ho sa baba. Bago ho natin pasadahan yung dalawang video na yan, segwayin ho muna natin itong post nitong si Mangga. Pambihira talaga itong si Mangga. Pinapakaba niya naman yung mga bangag sa Malacanang. Ito ho mga kababayan, malupit ho itong mga banat na to nitong si Amy Marcos. Tumawag daw ho sa kanya itong si Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. Alam niyo ho mga kababayan, itong gagawin na to ng Blue Ribbon, ito ho ika nga ang talagang magmamarka sa ating mga kababayan. Itong gagawin na to ng liderato ng Senado ngayon, ito ho ika nga ang tatapos sa mga kabalbalan ng administrasyon na to. Base ho dito sa post nitong si Mangga, kumusta po SP Alan Peter Cayetano? Tinawagan ako ng aming Senate President Alan Peter Cayetano. Buksan na ang Blue Ribbon Committee. Palakpakan. Importante ho yan, no? Ayo. Palakpakan ho tayo. Tanggalin lahat ng takip sa flood control corruption. Ipatawag ang 18 Marines, si Zaldico at ang mga Bersamin. Palakpakan ho tayo. Ilabas ang katotohanan. Ilabas na ang katotohanan. Yan ho ang naging post nitong si Senator Amy Marcos. So ganito lang ho kasimple yan mga kababayan. Ito, dahil nga naman bubuksan na natin. Highly anticipated ho yung hearing na yan dahil sa mga nakaraang linggo at buwan, kinidnap ho yan nitong si Ping Lacson Boytago. Hanggat maaari, ayaw ho niyang mag-imbestiga. Ayaw ho niyang magpatawag ng hearing. Ayaw ho niyang ipatawag yung mga Bersamin o kung sino man. 18 Marine, yung si Zaldico, ayaw hong ipatawag nitong si Ping Lacson Boytago. Kaya naman dito sa gagawin ho nila na to, pagka tinanggal itong si SP Cayetano, simple lang ho dahilan yan. Gusto ho nilang pigilan itong matinding paglalantad kung sino nga bang mastermind dito sa mga maanumalyang flood control project na to. Dito sa napakalaking skandalo, ito ho ang pinakamalaking corruption sa kasaysayan ng ating bansa. Ito ho di ba, pagdating sa infrastruktura, wala na hong mas lalala kasi trilyon hong pinag-uusapan natin dito mga kababayan. Hindi ho birong pera to. Hindi ho birong buhay ang nasayang dahil sa katakawan sa pera nitong mga opisyal na to. Kaya kung sakaling umpisahan yung hearing na yan at biglang tanggalin itong si SP Cayetano, alam na ho natin ibig sabihin yan. Ibig sabihin lang ho niyan, talagang gusto ho nilang iligaw ang sambayan ng Pilipino at hindi malaman ng ating mga kababayan kung sino nga ba ang mastermind dito sa napakalaking korupsyon na to. Kaya naman kudos ho sa bagong pamunuan ng Senado sa kanilang pagbubukas ng committee ng Blue Ribbon para dinggin na yung mga dapat dinggin, marinig na yung mga dapat marinig, mailatag na yung mga dapat mailatag, makulong na yung mga dapat makulong. Ayun na nga mga kababayan, at dahil dyan syempre re-recta na ho tayo, di ba? Di naman ho pwedeng di ho natin pasadahan itong na to ni SP Cayetano. Pero bago ho yan, dito ho muna kay Attorney Turrion ho muna tayo kay Attorney Turrion. Tapos lipat ho tayo dito kay SP Cayetano. Unahin na ho muna natin itong interview, panayam dito kay Attorney Turrion dyan sa Billionaire News Channel.
Sabi po, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Ayos.
Well, Attorney, ang tanong po ng lahat, where is Senator Bato de la Rosa now?
Yan. Yan ang tanong di ba?
I really do not have any idea. He has made himself unavailable even to me, and
Attorney Turrion?
ever since his exit from the Senate.
Okay, so you are not in, you don't have any communication with the Senator right now. Is that correct, Attorney?
Yes, Sir Jerks. I could not contact him, and he could not contact me also, and I can understand the reason why he would not contact me also.
So what is the supposed reason, Attorney, why he is not in contact with you? Well, Attorney, we will try to get a good connection
nawala tong si
with
Atty.
Attorney
Torion.
Sailito Torion. We'll take a short break. We'll continue our discussion.
Yung,
Categorically say he is not evading the law? Where exactly
Well,
does
he's
legal
not-
defense end?
He's not evading the law, sir. He's not evading the law because simply because of the fact that there is no local warrant of arrest against him. It is our humble contention that Philippine constitutionalism, requires that a warrant of arrest shall issue only upon finding of probable cause determined personally by a local domestic judge. As what I have always been repeating,
Yes.
between the leviathan of a governmental power and the individual lies a shield, and that shield is the Bill of Rights. We cannot continue to treat a foreign warrant of arrest as if it is a blank check, as if it is self-executing here, simply because we have our own constitution, we have our own set of laws here in our
Yung,
country.
But seems
Maliwanag.
like, Attorney, it's not the interpretation of the Department of Justice as well as the Department of Interior and local government.
Yes, simply because of the fact that we are likewise perhaps influenced by politics here. But the way I see it, it has always been, even if you look at the Fourth Amendment of the United States of America, which we copied here in our country, in the Philippines, there is really a requirement that if there is an invasion of liberty, of violation of right to life or liberty, there must be a judicial check, and that must be followed likewise by our Philippine authorities. I'm just very sad why our executive department is adopting a very different and wild idea that they can implement right away a foreign warrant of arrest without confirmation, affirmation, or checking by a local judicial court.
But Attorney, you did not get a TRO. So ano po kayang ibig sabihin noon in terms of...
Okay, I'll explain. Under Rule 58 of the Rules of Court, a TRO has 4 elements, no? First, clear and material right. Second, there is a material invasion of such right. Third, there is grave and irreparable injury that would be set upon the petitioner, or grave injustice that would be set upon a petitioner. If it is not granted, and there must be clear and urgent necessity. So maybe the Supreme Court has found, I could only speculate, maybe it is the opinion of the Supreme Court or the order of the Supreme Court that there is no grave and irreparable injury because he already exited from the Senate, or maybe because of the order of the Senate granting him protective custody, which therefore eliminates probably the need for issuance of the TRO. But it does not mean that the main issues are dead. It is only an order clarifying whether or not the provisional remedy of TRO is granted. It is not a decision on the merits of the case. Yes,
But Attorney,
it's not a decision on the merits of the case.
Attorney, have you filed an MR or motion for reconsideration already?
Not yet. What I filed at around 11 o'clock this morning, or around 12 o'clock, was a manifestation stating the supervening events. Like, for example, the DOJ press conference which declared, among others, that they have already operationalized the warrant of arrest, and subsequent PNP declaration that the 225 PNP police force is now being operationalized to organize a manhunt against him, and the NBI declaration that Senator Bato should be arrested whether he likes it or not.
And what
To
is
our mind, this is proof enough that they have already treated as self-executory the warrant of arrest, which is not supposed to be, because the main case has not yet been decided.
Yung,
So in effect, you're still hoping that your manifestation will serve as a proof that the court should issue a TRO.
It's one of the support pending the filing of a motion for reconsideration that we will do, or that we will file after we will receive written copies of the order of the Supreme Court. It will still be on Monday that it will be issued. So that is why we only filed a manifestation without prejudice to the filing of a motion for reconsideration. Hopefully, this Monday or thereafter,
Okay.
or within the period allowed by law.
Now, Attorney, are you advising Senator De La Rosa to surface and submit himself to Philippine authorities, or is the strategy?
Yung mga yung mga tawag dito, yung mga reporter na kagaya nito. Kayo ho, tanungin ko kayo. Halimbawa kung kayong abogado nitong si Senator Bato. Alam nyo ng sitwasyon ganito. Yung tipong wine-weaponize ho nila yung ICC para sa kanilang mga kalaban sa politika. Sa tingin nyo ho ba ako abogado, sasabihin ko, wala naman local warrant. Sasabihin ko dito kay Senator Bato, lumabas ka Bato, magpasubmit ka dyan sa dyan sa warrant na yun ng ICC. Napakalaking kabalbalan. Ano na lang hoy, gamita konting konting sentido komon. Ay sabagay, yung mga mainstream media wala ho talaga silang ganun. Maleta meron. Pero sentido komon wala ho sila niyan.
Strategy now is to keep him out of reach while legal remedies are pending.
No, it's really a decision that can be made only by Senator Bato de la Rosa. What I can do as legal counsel legally is to present him alternative courses of action, present the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats of each courses of action, and it's up to him to decide which would he do.
So, ibig sabihin niyo po, Attorney, buong
Yo.
yung tiwala sa inyo ni
Ayos.
Senator De La Rosa that without even consultations, you can make pleadings, manifestations before the Supreme Court without his knowledge.
Of course. Actually, he even signed a special power of attorney at the time when he appeared last May 11, May 12, May 13. I made him sign a special power of attorney authorizing me
Okay.
and other my associate lawyers to do anything and everything procedurally insofar as his case is concerned.
Okay, Attorney Torion, what would make Senator De La Rosa surrender?
Well, if they would operationalize Section 17, if they would issue a clear procedural mechanism as to how they would implement surrender, because it has always been our stand, and I hope the people will understand that RA 9851 was specifically passed to fortify, strengthen our local criminal laws. It is not meant to give a license for us to just to surrender right away our Filipino citizens to the ICC in case of violations of the provisions of the Rome Statute.
But,
If there is a clear guideline as to how to implement surrender, or if there is, more importantly, if there is already a local judicially issued warrant of arrest, then I'm very sure Senator De La Rosa would appear.
Okay. Now, Attorney, the guidelines, yung binabanggit niyo pong guidelines for the surrender, saan po dapat manggagaling yan?
Well, according to the deliberations of Republic Act 9851, specifically in the deliberations in February as well as March, between Senator Ligarda when he was interpellating Senator Gordon, it should come from Congress that they should pass an independent law as to how to operationalize surrender. Because according to what you call this, Senator Gordon, the surrender word that has been used in Section 17 is not enough to operationalize actual surrender.
So,
It needs to have a law.
kailangan
may batas.
kailangan
Lahat
isa
po ng
batas.
constitutional democracy, sir, na member ng ICC, may batas po.
Okay.
I can cite, for example, Italy, France, Great Britain, UK, isa lang pala yan.
Katangi-tangi ho tayo na pagka naglabas sila ng warrant para ho tayong mga mga timang na mabilis pa sa alas 4, hindi pa napag-usapan, hindi pa nasangguni sa ating mga local courts. Kagyat talagang kulang na lang magkanda-ugaga ang sambayan ng Pilipino para ibigay yung mamamayan natin dito sa mga foreign court na to.
Ayan, lahat po ng mga miyembro, no, mayroon silang batas as to how to operationalize surrender.
Okay.
Tayo lang po ang wala.
Okay. Now, Attorney, syempre, kayo naman po, hindi kayo iba dito sa ganitong scenario. The last time na nagkaroon ng mga tracker teams trying to serve a warrant, naalala ko po yung kaso ni Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. Ano?
Yes.
And
Yes.
do you want that similar scenario to happen, na magkakaroon ng mga standoff, chaotic situation para lang po ma-serve yung warrant doon sa inyong kliyente?
I hope not.
Sira
No?
ulo to. Hi ba tong nagtatanong na to? Hi, no? Okay ka lang, sir? Hindi, I mean, nagtatanong, gusto mo ba na yung ganong klaseng senaryo ang mangyari sa inyo? Meron bang kay OGC ang itong si Senator Bato de la Rosa? Meron ba silang gigipiting mga ano niya, mga miyembro niya? Wala naman. Meron ba siyang Jose Maria College na huhukayin nila? Saan sila maghahanap ng heart? Pwede yung mga tanong, ano natin, ibatay natin doon sa realidad at doon sa kalagayan ng mga Hindi. Pambihira naman to siya. Ang ganda-ganda pa naman ng pagkahiwa ng ano mo, ng buhok mo, tapos ganyan ka lang magtanong. Ang dami pwedeng itanong kay Atty. Torion, kumain ka na ba? O kumusta yung ano mo, yung pagiging abogado mo? Ganon. Nagmerienda ka na ba? Pambihira, senaryo.
No, I hope not. I hope that the PNP as well as the NBI would really take to heart the Bill of Rights of the 1987 Constitution. Kasi iba talaga ang sitwasyon dito. Hindi po pwede na yung foreign warrant of arrest ay idiretso lamang na i-implementa dito na hindi dumaan po sa ating korte. Kailangan, kasi nakasaad sa atin sa Bill of Rights natin, no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, and that no warrant of arrest shall issue except upon probable cause to be determined personally by a judge. And that judge is a Filipino judge in accordance with Hall versus People. This is non-delegable, and this is likewise reiterated or stated likewise in Salazar versus Atsacoso.
Okay.
Kailangan po maintindihan nila yan.
Sige, attorney, ito pong si Senator Robin Padilla, he has admitted na last Thursday, sinabay niya si Senator De La Rosa pauwi at bumaba raw si Senator De La Rosa sa Makati. As far as you know, is that true? Are you aware of that?
Hindi kami nagkausap about that. No, I am not privy because honestly, and Allah is my witness, when I left the Senate around 1:30, 1:45 before 2 o'clock, no, at the time where wala, ang pinag-usapan namin ni Senator Bato is iba, no? And I had no inkling na mag-exit pala siya sa Senado mga minutes after I left the Senate premises.
No, well, of course, the people are wondering why in Makati and what did he do from there? As far as you know,
Palakpakan nun natin. Yung tipong, ano ba gusto niyo nalaman, sir? Kung saan nagpunta si Senator Bato de la Rosa, bakit Makati? Makati, baka nandun, doon nakabang niyo sa kanya. Halimbawa, kung nasa Caloocan, halimbawa, itong si Senator Robin, Shen, saan ka ba dadaan? Makati ako eh. Yung hindi kita maabala, saan ba ako pwedeng i-drop by na hindi kita maabala? Makati, doon na lang kita i-drop by. Sige, okay lang, walang problema. Abangan nyo na lang ako dyan sa Makati. Anong lang to ko? Pati pa naman yung Makati, significance sa Makati, bakit doon siya inihulog? Pambihira talaga itong mga media na to. Kaya naman karapat dapat to silang palakpakan. Nakananto ko, bilyo na. Si Ma'am Pinky Web.
po, bilang abogado po, may bahay po ba itong si Senator De La Rosa sa Makati?
I cannot speculate. I am not privy to any information regarding that, so I will not speculate.
Okay. Now, did you expect the Supreme Court that denied your camp's request for a TRO on the ICC warrant?
Well, I was hoping that somehow they would grant it, but then again, this is only an order affecting the provisional remedy. This is not a decision on the merits. And we have to have a copy of the order so that we will understand. Baka doon siguro sa third element na walang grave and irreparable injury, dahil doon hindi na-grant yung aming TRO. Pero hindi po ibig sabihin nun natalo na kami. Hindi lang siguro, kasi may Senate Protective Custody, separate branch of the government yan. So pwede lang sabihin, meron ka na namang Senate Protective Custody yan, independent branch of the government yan, matter of wisdom yan, ang Senado. So pwede lang sabihin na yung grave and irreparable injury sa iyo ay wala na. Hindi mo na kami mag-issue ng TRO sa iyo.
Oo.
So pwede kasing ganun eh. Ang iba kasi, parang sinasabi na nila na go signal na ito na implementa ang warrant. Kalukuhan yan, kapalpalan yan.
Okay. Now, of course, as you mentioned, the SC has not decided on the main case, which is on the legal effect of the ICC warrant. Are you hopeful that the SC will rule in your favor? Kasi marami pong nagsasabi na kung minsan hindi na pagbibigyan yung TRO, most probably the Supreme Court agrees na or ayaw nilang pagbigyan
I
ng
do
hiling.
not agree.
Aha.
I do not agree because
Why?
the issue on provisional relief has different elements.
Okay.
Para dito kay Manong Reporter, mag-abogado ho kayo. Para tanungin yung isang abogado kung hindi kayo sa ngayon, bakit?
Sabi ko na yan, 4. Baka may isa doon na hindi na present sa kanila sa pananaw ng majority. No, dalawang justices lang ang kulang namin kasi 9-6 votes. Kung meron pa kaming dalawa pang ma-prove kasi klaro na ngayon yung DOJ nagsabi na talaga na ipatakip na talaga si Senator Bato de la Rosa. For all you know, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala may create a magic at makumbinsi yung ibang justices. Dalawa lang ang kailangan namin, maging 8-7 na yun. So, hindi po natin dapat i-equate na pag na-deny yung provisional remedy ay talo na kami sa main case.
Okay. Yung attorney, in your statement yesterday or the other day, you said that the case is about constitutional rights. But does a
Yes.
former police chief and senator have a higher expectation to obey the rule of law, especially when authorities are publicly searching for him?
Anong dahilan bakit hinahanap siya? Siya Bato naman, dahil malinaw naman susundin niya yung rule of law. Yung rule of law natin dito sa ating bansa. Kasi tayo isang malayang bansa, sir. Kung yung warrant of arrest na binabandera nila galing sa ICC, walang kwenta yan. Pampunas mo ng pit yan. Dapat ibigay yung kay sir. Diyan siya nag-i-interview kay Atty. Torre. Walang kwenta yan. Pambihira ka naman, oo.
Okay, and the question is?
Well, isn't he expected to obey the rule of law as a senator?
Well,
and
they can claim good faith. They can claim good faith because their superiors are ordering them to, arrest Senator Bato. But I do hope that there is also a concept that if the order is void on its face because they know that a person, a Filipino, can only be arrested on the basis of a warrant issued by a local judge, then I would contend otherwise. And they can have a legal reason, but I would not, even I, hesitant to advise that to our local police officers.
So,
Because I am very sure they will be facing cases if they will not also follow.
So, ibig sabihin po niya, Atty. Torion, hindi po magpapakita si Senator Bato de la Rosa until a local court issues a warrant against him.
Or if a local court will issue a warrant of arrest, there is a big probability that he will appear because before such is issued, may mga probable cause determination man yan Merong executive determination of probable cause, meron ding judicial determination of probable cause. The judicial determination of probable cause must come only after there is an executive determination of probable cause. And in our jurisdiction kasi, sir, maling-mali po yung sinasabi na may due process naman sa ICC. Kasi
Wala.
dito sa atin, accusatorial. Sa system, ang sa ICC, inquisitorial. Secret po yung preliminary examinations nila. Yung investigations nila, secret. Pati nga yung warrant of arrest, secret So how can they say that there is a due process? It will be the very first time that Senator De La Rosa will be accorded due process when the foreign warrant of arrest is localized, meaning it is now being sought to be affirmed here in the Philippine jurisdiction.
So, attorney, ibig sabihin, kung may local warrant, there's a big probability that he will show up. But it's not.
Yes.
But it's not a
Yes.
guarantee that he will show up.
It's not a guarantee, but based on our conversations, he told me kung merong if the Philippine Constitution will be followed, if the rules of criminal procedure will be followed, because we are an independent country, he will face it. I'm certain of that.
Okay. Now, attorney, kasi doon sa statement nyo rin the other day, you framed your SC petition as a fight for every Filipino. But
Yes.
of course, attorney, many families of drug war victims po, ano?
Yan na naman. Yung walang humpay nilang naratibo. Yung mga war on drugs victim. Mga sindikato po pumatay dyan siya. Mga sindikato gumurgol dyan. Okay? Langya kayo. Hindi nyo na ba kayo natapos sa naratibo niya? Nasidigong ang kumurgol sa mga yan. Mga nag-internal cleansing yung mga sindikato noon. Kunyari ako, nagtutulak ako. Yung amo ko, talagang pagka nahuli ako dahil sa sobrang takot ko, pwede ko siyang ikanta. ang gagawin ng amo ko, siya na mismo gugurgur sa akin. Kalagyan ako ng placards, ititape ako kung ano-anong kalokohang gagawin nila. Hindi si Digong ang gumawa nun. Ito naman si Sir. Ay, ayan kasi, ano ho yan, pagka inulit-ulit-ulit, magmumukhang totoo kahit kasinungalingan na yung mga drug war victim. Walang biktima ng drug war. Alam niyo kung sinong biktima dito? Mga biktima dito, yung mga ordinaryong Pilipino na napeperwisyo dyan sa mga walang yung drugista na yan. Okay? Yung mga ganito kasi yan, sir. Ha? Doon pa lang sa paghawak mo, pagpasok mo sa hanap buhay na yan, alam mo na illegal. Kung sakaling magurgur ka dyan, anong human rights? Pinasok mo yan. Ngayon kung ikaw ay nakatayo sa daan, bigla ka nalang tinumba ng isang pulis, doon may problema tayo doon. Dahil yun, walang ginagawang masama. Hindi yung hindi yun nagtutulak. Halimbawa, yung ordinaryong naghahanap buhay, nagtitinda ng tao, biglang pumlakda sa kalsada, tinumba ng isang pulis. Human rights yan. Pero pagka yung nagbebenta ng droga, pambihira, illegal yung ginagawa niya. Yung pagbebenta ng droga at ano bang magandang halimbawa na talagang yung pagbebenta ng droga at pang hold up ng isang bangko, wala akong pagkakaiba yung dalawa na yan. Also yung mga pumasok na mga kawatan sa mga bangko, pagka nanlaban yung mga yan, tapos pinutokan ng mga pulis pag namatay sila, kasalanan ng pulis yun, yung kanilang human rights. Pambihira, yung ginagawang pagbebenta ng droga at pagpasok nito mga kawatan na to sa loob ng bangko, wala akong pagkakaiba, parehong illegal yan. Kung tawagin yun pagka pinasok mo yan, yung hazard nandyan. Diba? Yung tipong pag pinasok mo yan at namatay ka dyan, dapat, kaya nga para sa mga drugista, pag pumalik na si BP Sara, magpaalam na kayo sa mga mahal nyo sa buhay. Walang pagkakaiba yung pagbibenta ng droga at pang-hold up ng bangko. Yan ang tandaan nyo. Pag yung nang-hold up ng bangko, nakipagputukan sa mga pulis, pambihira kayo. Sinasabi nyo, okay lang yan. Pinasok nila bangko Tapos itong mga drugista na to, illegal ginagawa nila. Pag nakipagputukan sila sa pulis, namatay sila, sasabihin nyo, human rights. Mga siraulo ba kayo? Pambihira.
Say that the due process were...
We understand that.
Due process.
Yes, sir. We
ba?
understand that and we commiserate with the victim.
Uh-huh.
And but however grave the accusations are against Senator Bato de la Rosa, we must remember a fundamental concept, principle of law enshrined in the 1987 Constitution. What is that?
Attorney Torion, hindi naman abogado yung kausap mo. Yung sinasabi niya naratibo ng kumpanya na kanyang pinagtatrabahuhan. Wala namang pakialam yan, mahuli si Senator Bato, makulong si Senator Bato. Ang importante lang dito, trabaho lang niya yan. Diba? Yung i-report niya. Sabihin niya yung mga nakasulat sa teleprompter na yan. Diba? Yun lang naman yan. Pambihira.
That is the presumption of innocence.
Okay.
No? Take note that during the PNP headship of Senator De La Rosa, he declared many times that he will not tolerate AJK killings. And as a matter of fact, in the listing of then Senator De Lima, hindi nga nakasali yung pangalan ni Senator De La Rosa sa mga policemen na gusto niyang ipa-aresto at ipa-imbestiga
Mm-hmm.
So, dahil lang, hindi dapat na dahil lang masyadong mabigat yung mga akusasyon, ay isurrender na natin ang ating 1987 Constitution. What is
Wag
innocent
naman.
ka? What if may maganda siyang depensa? Dapat ma-follow pa rin yung kanyang presumption of innocence at dapat mabigyan siya ng due process.
Of course, those are the reasons why we need to follow the court's order, whatever that is. So anyway, Attorney Isailito Torion.
Kunin mo yung sabay kayo ni Trililing. Kunin mo yung ICC warrant of arrest. Hanapin nyo si Siyang Bato. Yarin lamang nagigil ka kay Siyang Bato na gusto mo talaga sundin yung ICC. Hanapin mo. Nga ka. Ito,
Maraming
ang ganda pa naman ng pagkahawi ng book mo tapos ganyan lang mga tanong mo. Lang kwenta. Tanaw tayo dito kay Attorney tuloy. SP Cayetano. Kala ko pa naman may bitaw tong na to. Dati pinapanood ko to. Kala ko nasa Ano to itong reporter na to medyo okay, wala pala, sablay. Mahinang klase, mahinang nilalang. Dito to tayo kay SP Cayetano, Gay.
Opportunity to speak to you directly this afternoon,
Yun.
Saturday afternoon. Magandang hapon.
Magandang
Happy
hapon,
weekend
SP.
po sa lahat ng aking Facebook.
SP pa rin siya. SP pa rin. O, palakpakan tayo. Sinasabi ko sa inyo, SP pa rin siya. O, SP pa rin siya. Pambihirang yan, oo. SP pa rin. Di pa rin siya napapalitan. So ano ibig sabihin yan? Mag-iimbestiga tayo sa Blue Ribbon. Papakinggan natin ang mga Bersamin, 18 Marine, Saldico. Malalaman na natin kung sino ang mastermind sa mga maanomalyang flood control project. Oh. Ngayon, pagka nagkaalaman na at yung mga dapat gumalaw hindi pa rin gumalaw at yung mga dapat makulong hindi pa rin nakulong, huwag na ho kayong umasa na aayos ang kalagayan ng bansa na to.
Family, sa ating po mga kababayan, hindi lang po dito sa Metro Manila, sa Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, sa ating mga kababayan sa buong mundo. Lalo po yung ating mga OFWs na medyo very much concerned sa nangyayari po sa Middle East at lalong-lalo po dun sa mga medyo may problema sa trabaho ngayon. Isang mainit na pagbati sa inyo. I thank God for technology because it's very hard to get to the truth.
Pero believe ako dito kay SP Cayetano, pambihira. Yung ibang mga kasama niya, kagaya nitong si Ping Lacson, nitong si Tuta Soto, kailangan pa nilang pumila sa GMA, sa News 5, di ba? Kailangan nilang, talagang makipagbalyahan dyan sa mga stasyon na yan para makakuha ng clicks, makakuha ng views, mapakinggan yung side nila. Ito hindi ho. Mag-live lang siya sa kanyang FB page. Solve na ang buto-buto. Yan ang totoong suporta. Hindi mo kailangan yung boost ng mainstream media. Di ba, Senator SP Cayetano? Sinasabi ko sa inyo.
It's very difficult to communicate directly. But for those who are really interested in knowing what's on the mind of your leaders, dun sa mga taong dapat nananilbihan sa inyo, through social media is one way na dumiretso sa inyo. So, ang biblical principle natin for today is kung anong itatanim, yan ang ating aanihin.
Yeah.
Anything you sow,
Sabi ko.
you will reap. Bata pa lang tayo, tinuturo na talaga sa atin, di ba? Na hindi ka pwedeng magtanim ng mangga tapos aanihin mo ay santon.
Totoo yan.
So
Totoo
let's
yan.
start with that. But allow me with to pose a provocative question, ha?
Yan.
Allow me lang, huwag muna kayong mag-react. Whose side is God on? Okay, Tagalogin ko.
Dapat mong Tagalog Dapat mong Tagalogin niya SP may na tayo sa English. Filipino yan, naiintindihan natin. Pero English, ahihirapan tayo dyan. Yo.
Sa lahat ng mga pangyayari sa ating bansa, nasaan panig ang Panginoon?
Yan.
O, i-adjust nyo muna yan, ha? O. So, babati muna ulit ako. Magandang hapon po sa inyong lahat. Let's have a good discussion here today. I started with a biblical principle, kung ano itatanim, yan ang ating aanihin. So, tanong po natin, whose side is God on? So, kung anong itatanim, yan ang ating aanihin. Kung mali yung tanong, mali yung sagot. Okay? A wrong question cannot come up with a right answer. We cannot come up with solutions if we think the problem is something else. Diba? Kaya nga po, halimbawa, addict. Let's say, addict sa alak, alcoholic. Hanggang aminin mo na may problema ka sa alak, hindi mo masosolve yung problema na yun. Diba? So, I was much younger. We had a pastor. He was such a great counselor. Grabe yung kanyang wisdom. And like any other religious leader, syempre sinasabi niya, basahin yung Word of God. And I'll address myself to Christians, of course. Sabi, basahin mo yung Bible. Yan, syempre, pag binabasa mo yung Bible sa Old Testament, di ba? God is on our side, di ba? We are God's chosen people. We win the battle if God is on our side. So, naging likha sa atin na mag-pray at sabihin, Lord, please be at our side. Lord, whether it's a basketball game, a football game, game of table tennis, whether it's a competition sa school, debate club, whether it's sa korte, parati natin pinag-pray na sana ang Panginoon nasa panig natin. Sabi sa akin po ni Pastor, Alan, baguhin mo yan. Dapat ang prayer, Lord, may I always be on your side. Okay, binaliktad tayo dapat ang nasa side ni Lord. Bakit po? Because
Galing,
it is possible you are on the wrong side.
Oo. Yan ho ang dahilan kaya ako ngayon pinalabas yan, no? Ngayong araw ng linggo para talagang ika nga solidong-solido dating. Makinig ho muna tayo ng mga words of wisdom, yung word of God. Yan ho importante diyan. Hindi ho puro politika yung mga nasa natin, mga pinag-uusapan natin dito. Dapat nakikinig-kinig din ho tayo ng mga ganyan, no? Mahirap na kasi, di ba? Masyadong masyadong pinagtutuunan ng pansin yung mga detalye sa politika, 'di ba? Na yung mga kung sinong gagawa ng ganito, anong mangyayari pagka nangyari to, 'di ba? Yung mga tipong gano'n, yung mga malulupit na mga analyst diyan. Muna tayo? Ika nga salita muna ng Panginoon. Yan muna ang ating dyan. Ika ang ating tatalakayin dito sa video na to. Napapanahon pala to. Linggo tapos word of God. Palakpakan natin tong si SP Cayetano. Ang ganda ng Pastor Cayetano. Siya from SP pagka naging araw na linggo nagiging pastor ko natin siya. Pastor.
No one's perfect. So let's say if you're dealing with 10 issues now, 3 economic issues, 3 political issues, 2 social issues,
Yan.
whatever, no? Do you think you will be 100% on the right side? Only if you are on God's side are you sure you will be at the right side. That's why, as Christians, again, let me address myself to Christians. Of course, kung ano man religion nyo, welcome lahat sa discussion natin. Sa mga kapatid nating Muslim, Assalamualaikum. Si Propeta Jeremiah, kinikilala ng Hudyo, ng Kristiyano at ng Muslim. Sabi nga, di ba, na for I know the plans I have for you. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. So ano sabi? Plans ni Lord. Hindi plans natin. So kung plan ko sana maging doktor, researcher, at ang aking ambisyon ma-discover yung cure sa cancer, for example, dahil let's say may malapit sa akin na cancer ang naging dahilan kung ba't siya nakuha sa mundong ito. Pero kung ang plano ni Lord ay maging abogado ko, mas alam ni Lord yung plano. So kahit anong pray ko, Lord, I hope you're on my side na pumasa ako ng biology and then medical school, di ba? So guys, that's the first lesson I want to emphasize today. We should all pray that we be on God's side, hindi that God be on our side. I'll give you a very controversial example. Controversial not because it's an example, but because there's two sides to the coin. For example, with the controversy sa Senate, may humirit na bakit Senator Pia, kinamusta mo ba yung magulang ng biktima ng extrajudicial killing?
Yan.
And then may nagtatanong sa akin, how can I talk about the right to life in the United Nations when I was Secretary of Foreign Affairs? Because there are two views. One view is that drug addiction, ang pagkalat ng narcotics o bawal ng gamot, led to rape of 2, 3, 4 years old. Led to families having a crisis dahil sariling anak ninanakawan ang nanay o tatay. It led to murder, it led to massacres. I'm talking about shabu. May mga ibang drugs that less ang tama sa utak. At may mga drugs that does not lead to excuse me, does not lead to violent tendencies, no? But I'm talking about shabu, no?
Shabu. Iba ko kasi yan yung shabu na yan. Pagka yan talagang pumasok sa yung sistema at tinaraw-araw mo yan, kaya ni Tatay Digong matuto yung utak mo. Tapos hindi na, hindi na yung hindi na marirepair yung utak mo pagka yan ay na-damage ng substance na yan. Tingnan nyo ho, kung meron kayong kakilala na nadali ng droga na yan, kahit na sabihin nilang hindi na sila bumabatak, hindi na sila tumitikim, pero yung noong pagkakakilala nyo sa kanya, nung hindi pa siya gumagamit noon, medyo mahiyain, tahimik, pero nung nalulung siya dyan at talagang napasobra, ngayon iba na ho yung ugali, yung utak kasi yung sa loob ng mo, yun yung sisirain yan. Matakin nyo naman ho mga kababayan, yan ang tawag dyan, yung tubig ng bateryang ginagamit, di ba, pagka ginagawa, talagang masisira ulo mo dyan. Tubig ba naman ng baterya? Ganun ho katindi yan.
So, ang campaign against drugs is a human rights campaign, is a pro-life campaign. Dahil pumapatay ang drugs. At kung titignan niyo yung statistics, grabe talaga. No? Hindi ordinaryong kabastusan, acts of lasciviousness, hindi ordinaryong suntukan or mga physical harm. We're talking about the worst kind of murder, the worst kind of rape, the worst kind of stealing, cheating, lying, etc. No? It really destroys families and communities. So, for many of those who were on the side of declaring war on drugs, it was not about extrajudicial killing because we do not excuse that. Because ang sinasabi nga natin, you have to do it the right way. The other side of the coin naman is yung nagsasabing it was a front at maraming pinatay na inosente o kaya pag-addict imbis na ipagamot or instead of dalhin sa rehab, pinapatay. On the side lang kaya nga po trumiple yung dami na nasa jails kasi hindi po pinapatay, dinadala sa jail. Kaya nga po dumami ang ating mga rehab center at lumaki ang budget sa rehab, not only during Duterte's time but also during Aquino's time and Duterte and now Marcos, yung rehab, lumalaki yan. But yung paglobo sa jail, yun ang example. So what do I mean by that? So pag sinabi mong right to life, everyone will claim that God is on their side. So kung nandun ka sa drug war, sasabihin mo, God is on our side kasi ayaw ni Lord ng drugs. Kung nandun ka naman sa side na extrajudicial killing yan, of course, God will be for the right of life, di ba? Ngayon, ang question kasi, was it a policy na magkaroon ng extrajudicial killing or not? Di ba? So I won't go into the merits or demerits of those arguments. I just want to point out to you how come napaka-emotional, napaka-importante yung debate when we talk about God and then we say, is He on our side? So, let me just first establish, we have to be on His side. Secondly, why even involve or invoke God's will, God's ways, God's thoughts, God's law? Well, because from the start of the world, there's a lying spirit. Yung pong nagsabi kay Eve. Sabi po kay Eve, if you eat the forbidden fruit, you will become like God. So, they had perfection. With their bodies, with creation, with Garden of Eden, everything. Pero lied to para nga mahulog. That's why nga fallen ang mankind, di ba? So ang point ko po, if you take out God from the equation, from our society, from our schools, from our laws, from the Senate, from the House, from Malacanang, we will truly be lost. So, does it sometimes cause offense if someone talks about the Bible, talks about the religion? Alam niyo po, in Taguig, laki po kasi ako sa different parts of Taguig. Meron nga kaming lugar doon, parang halos isang kalye lang na paikot ay halos lahat ng religion may simbahan. And then of course, the biggest Muslim population is in Taguig. It's in Maharlika Village. And since the 90s, pag nag-attend ako ng activity, may Quran reading before any activity. So, why is it offensive if the Quran is read or a pastoral letter is read or verses are read for as long as it is not used to say na ako tama, ikaw mali? Or for as long as hindi used for deceit. I agree with you, Bible scholars who will say, and tama po kayo, na even the devil can quote scripture. The devil knows that there is God. He's just rebelling against God. Di ba? So ang point
Baka mas magaling pa nga ho sa ating magbigay ng mas kabisado pa ho ng devil ng Biblia kaysa sa atin, di ba? Ganun ho siya katindi. Eh kaso ang problema rebelde nga eh. Diba? Kinakalaban niya Diyos.
ito po, there are guidelines on what we're supposed to do. But you cannot take God out of the equation because He is the Creator. Siya may alam ng purpose. Hindi dapat i-abuse, pero mali din yung sabihin mong don't use. But siguro ang tamang use is tayo ang gamitin ni Lord, hindi tayo ang gumamit kay Lord. The example I used last week is that I really liked the prayer of Senator Pangilinan and then Senator Soto, no, if I'm not mistaken. But both sides, listening to that prayer that was so pure, both sides believe na sila ang on the side of the truth. So, ano tama doon? Lord, kami ang isasabi ng totoo, doon ka sa side namin. Or tama yung Lord, sana nandun kami sa side mo. So guys, those are the two things I want to emphasize today. One, God has to be the center of everything. Siya ang lumikha sa atin, siya ang may purpose, siya may alam ng katotohanan, siya ang may tamang plano. Number two, us being on God's side, not God being on our side. Number three, communication, next generation. You know, God works in generations. So katulad ng kahit sino na gusto ng pagbabago ngayon, the younger you are, the more idealistic but also the more active. Talagang mapusok, di ba? And that's not negative, that's positive. It's good that young people are active, are analyzing, are asking questions. It's good that some parents are having a hard time. It's not good that they're having a hard time, but it's good that their children are asking questions. Having said that, it's been proven again and again and again that the noisier ones in Facebook, in SOCMED, in Instagram, on TikTok, doesn't mean they're the correct one.
Correct.
Ang pinakamaingay sa Garden of Eden, yung serpent eh. Siya yung salita ng salita na kainin mo yan, eat, but it turned out na mali. So I'm also not saying that the majority cannot organically express their sentiments. No? What I'm saying is that kailangan may sukatan.
May sukatan.
Diba?
Yeah.
So for us
Important yung
Christian,
sukatan.
ang sukatan, salita ng Diyos. So it's important to communicate, to discuss, and I want to inject something here. Love your enemy. Kung
Correct.
baka Diyos talaga tayo, sabi po sa Bible, love your enemy. Hindi sinabing listen lang to your enemy, hindi sinabing respect your enemy, hindi sinabing forgive your enemy. Ang sinabi, love your enemy.
Mabigat yun ha.
So if you like someone, you're praying for them, that's good. But if you hate someone, pray for them. You know when you pray for someone you hate, you're actually helping yourself. Kasi ang heart, parang matter yan. Diba? Ang matter, it's something that occupies space. Diba? So, ang heart mo, napupuno din yan. So, kung puno ng heart ng hate yan, inaagawan yung space for love. So, siguro the past 2 days, ang aking po talagang happiness is to be with my pamangkins. Sila na po yung mga anak namin so far, no? And bigla akong tinanong, so nagche-chess kami nung isang pamangkin ko, and then others like sports, football, basketball, yung isa mahilig mag-coding, yung isa po napakalapit sa Diyos and he really likes to talk about the Bible and God. So yung isa po, tinanong niya ako na, yung Papi ang tawag nila sa akin. So sabi, Papi, what's happening? Eh usually naman yun ang expression niya, parang what's happening, saan tayo punta today? What's happening, dito lang ba tayo sa bahay? Or papasyal? But sabi ko, what do you mean? Kasi it was late at night. And sabi niya, what's happening sa Senate? I won't tell you na how I answered, but I was not that happy of the way, I really knew I couldn't just tell him, you'll understand when you're older. I also knew that I cannot give him a 1-hour explanation of all political issues, what's the ICC, what's protective custody, what's an attack, why 13, etc. No? So having said that, I figured out a way, and I praise God for the opportunity. So if you have young children and you want them to have a neutral explanation of what we're going through as a nation, I thought of a way, I received this way of explaining through Pokemon. Okay, what do I mean? So if I can do it all over again and my pamangkin says what's happening, I'll start with Mega Dream. Okay? So everyone has dreams. And we're taught in this world to think big, dream big. Lalo sa Taguig, yun ang ano namin, may kanta pa na think big, dream big. So etong series na to, Mega Dream. So let me start with this, no? Everyone has a dream. And I really believe that God plants a dream in us. But of course, the devil also plants wrong dreams in us. So how do you achieve your dream? Order. But part of our dream is to have perfect order. Perfect order was experienced in Eden during creation. But with the fallen man, ang dami na nangyari afterwards, whether you talk about Cain and Abel, whether you talk about Noah's Ark, whether you look around at all the evil, the corruption, the disrespect of children to their parents, the covetousness, di ba, yung adultery, lahat ng pag-usapan mo, walang perfect order. Pero kung ididikit mo, ang Mega Dream, kadikit talaga ng perfect order. Kaya talagang, sabi ko, God has a way of putting things together even in small things. Why? So, to be able to have a Mega Dream and a perfect order, you need heroes. So, lumabas yung ascended heroes. So, nauna yung Mega Dream, then yung perfect order, then ascended heroes. Okay. Ang problema, we're human. So, yung nababasa natin sa comic books or napapanood natin sa Netflix or napapanood natin sa sine, yan yung mga heroes, kaya nga meron din villains, di ba? May bida, may kontrabida. So, ang problema ngayon, sa algorithm natin, sa ating political thinking, parang rumble ng fraternity members na kung patayan na o gulpihan na, I don't care about who's right and wrong. Doon lang ako sa kakampi ko, di ba? So, explaining to young people that there's always a dream, and of course, the better the order or perfect order, mas madali, but then, sinong bida, sinong kontrabida? Ano yung kalalabas lang, kung hindi ako nagkakamali kahapon? Chaos rising. So actually, ito pinag-uusapan kahit sa Senate, no? Chaos. But what brings chaos? Nung maayos lahat sa kagustuhan ng Panginoon, walang chaos di ba? Pero since then, every time na sabi sa akin po ng isang kaibigan si Noy, sabi niya, huwag ka nang mag-isip pa. Kasi simple lang, matino ka. Gusto mo matino yung Senate, so guguluhin ka talaga. So chaos is not only brought by bad people who want to destroy something good. It's also brought by bad people who want the status quo not to change. Who want to prevent good people from changing. So am I saying kami good, sila bad? No, what I'm saying, there are 24 senators, there are different political leanings, there are a lot of issues, but just like parents, hindi ba una parati sa parents' health, your spiritual health, your mental health, your physical health, your financial health, di ba? So, sobra po ang pinagdadaan ng ating bansa ngayon. So, we have to explain to young people, the economy is in bad shape. All around the world, many countries are the same, di ba? Prices of gas is so high, and the price of gas affects everything else. May problema tayo sa dollar-peso exchange rate, which brings more problems. So, kumbaga parang domino effect yung sa presyo ng gasolina. So, because of that, food prices are also rising. Because of that, in the future planting seasons, may problema sa fertilizer, may problema sa weather because of the super El Nino. So, from our mega dream to the perfect order, to the ascended heroes, to the chaos rising, life is like that, di ba? But unlike Pokemon, which is a
Grabe, ang daming card nitong si ni SP Cayetano. Tayo din nag-ano na nagpakonti-konti, nagkukolekta na rin ng ganyan. Kasi maganda rin gawing ano yan, gawing libangan, yung pagkukolekta ng mga kung ano-ano. Yung tipong wala lang, trip mo lang mangulit tayo. Hindi, fan ho tayo ng Pokemon since Game Boy age pa, no? Yung Game Boy Color, yon yung pinaka na ano pa nun, nanonood lang ako nung nilalaro yung ano na yan, Pokemon, no? Nag-breed ka, di ba? Game Boy Color, kaway-kaway dito yung mga nakapaglaro ng Game Boy Color dyan ng Pokemon. Fan ho talaga tayo yan. Isa yan sa mga unang parang RPG na laro na linaro natin yung Pokemon na yan.
game.
Wala, hindi pa ho talagang uso. Siguro sa ibang bansa uso na. Pero sa atin yung ano pa lang yan, yung parang anime pa lang, cartoons pa lang siya, di ba? Yung pinapanood pa lang tapos laro sa Game Boy. Yun. Matagal na panahon na ulit. Yan yung isa sa mga impluensya natin sa paglalaro ng yung Pokemon na yan. Hanggang ngayon, meron pa rin ho akong meron akong mga laro ng Pokemon, hindi ko na nilalaro. Yung mga nasa emulator na lang. Hindi ko na nilalaro, nakikita ko lang, masaya ako.
For collectors, you're dealing with real lives here and not imagination.
Anyway, maganda ho yung naging mensahe nitong si SP Cayetano, no. Kung gusto yung panoorin ang kabuuan ng video niya na yan, punta lang ho kayo dyan sa kanyang FB page. As always, maraming salamat ho sa pagsuporta sa PH Update. God bless ho sa lahat, no. Mag-ingat ho kayo, nasan dako man ho kayong digdig naroon ngayong mga panahon na to. Medyo busy lang ho tayo ng konti ngayon kaya hindi ho tayo makaalagwa, makabakbak talaga. Ang dami hong mga ganap pero medyo nabibisi lang ho tayo. Pero pagka meron naman ho, makakasundo tayo, talaga sinusundot ho natin yan. Kasi marami ho sa ating mga kasama dito sa PH Update dun sa ating community. Talagang marami ho talagang ganap. Pero i-comment nyo na lang ho dito sa video na to yung mga saloobin kaugnay dyan sa mga sinabi na yan nitong si SP Cayetano. Sa susunod na video, subukan ho nating talakayan yung mga punto de vista na yan. Maraming salamat ho mga kababayan. Mag-ingat ho kayong lahat. Mahal natin Pilipinas.